Hello and welcome back to Community Connection. I'm Iowa City Mayor Bruce Teague. The holiday season is upon us, but due to the pandemic, celebrating is going to look and feel a little bit different this year. That goes for some of the regular holiday traditions in Iowa City, including the Tis the Season events held by the Iowa City Downtown District. Joining me to discuss how the downtown festivities have changed this year is Betsy Potter, Director of Creative Services at the Iowa City Downtown District. Thanks for joining me. I'm so excited to meet with you.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to chat.
Yes, well, Downtown District, a lot is happening. Very different year in 2020. And so, one of the things I wanted to know is what is the overarching mission for the Tis the Season campaign?
Sure. So our Tis the Season marketing and holiday campaign, we've been doing it for a number of years with always the goal in mind to bring people downtown to support all of our businesses down in downtown Iowa City during the end of the year, during the holiday shopping season, and to bring back remind people of their warm feelings around the holiday season to create a sense of place during the holidays. A lot of times, it's all about shopping and buying and all of those kind of elements, but we really want to make sure that you're making memories during the holidays in downtown and that like tie that to the sense of place. So that's our goal with all of the Tis the Season activities is to, always bring people downtown, but create like a great place to make memories.
Awesome. Well, I know that you've been doing that a many a years, and I've been a part of it. I brought down my
Yeah.
nieces to be a part of Tis the Season, but this year it's going to be a little different because of the pandemic. What can what can we expect with the carriage rides and some of that type stuff?
This year we started the planning in, like August. We started talking about, what is the holiday season going to look like this year? And, I'm happy to report that we're doing almost every single thing that we did pre-pandemic, but just in a different way. And so this year we have Santa. He's back on the Pedmal. He's visiting for 4 weekends. This last weekend was the very first date that he came down. But the difference, we used to host him in film scene. Kids, were able to like go up and sit on the chair next to him, things like that. This year, he's out on the Ped Mall, and it worked really, really great for the first weekend. He's sitting on the sleigh scene that we always have on the Weather Dance Fountain area, and kids are able to come up and put a letter in the letters to Santa mailbox, and then also tell them what they want for Christmas. But they're standing a good physically distance apart. Everyone's wearing masks, and then you can still get your picture with Santa. He's just in the sleigh, and the children or families are standing. Feet in front of him. So that's where Santa is this year. Same as usual, 11 to 3 p.m. on Saturdays, all the way up until December 19th is the last date. And then also this year, in the past, we've done horse-drawn trolley rides, but for a couple of reasons, we're not doing horse-drawn this year. One, our wonderful people that used to run the horse-drawn trolleys, they actually are retiring, so they're spending their winters in Arizona. And so we knew we had to figure out something else this season, and with the pandemic, we knew it had to be an open air, ride. And so we're working with Bass Family Farms from Mount Vernon, and they brought down one of their larger wagons with an antique tractor. And we are, there's physically distance on the wagon, and we have our lines working in the safest manner that we can, and everyone's wearing masks, but you can still take your wagon rides around downtown. I did it last weekend with my family, and my toddler loved it. Just going down on the quick 15-minute loop. The wagon's really beautifully decorated, so we're still doing those things. It just looks a little bit different this year.
Well, I'm happy to hear that that Santa is still a part because
Yeah.
that's a big deal for kids, right?
Yeah.
What kid don't want to see Santa around the holiday season? So it sounds like you can do it, and it's going to be socially distanced. There's going to be mask wearing for anyone
Yeah.
over the age of 2. So that is good to hear. It's unfortunate to hear about the horse carriage ride, but I'm happy to know that they're going to be going somewhere warm.
Yes.
while they retire from all of the work that they've done. But we have the other haystack ride. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, they're just a tractor wagon ride. So it's an antique tractor, and then it pulls the wagon rides behind it. And there's only 15 people allowed. You have to sit with your party. Typically, the wagon holds 55 people. So this is much more distant. We added a few extra hours so we can fit more people on for a day. So those actually read from 10 to 4 p.m. So there's a lot more time to fit your family in. And a lot of our rides this last weekend, it was one or two families of groups that were able to take the rides. So it's working out really well so far.
A couple of years ago, I went to the Hyatt. There was a room full of bears,
Yeah.
teddy bears, right? And so I took my nieces there. They absolutely loved it, although they're a little big. They're like, Uncle, this is like childish. But then they walked in the room and they absolutely loved it. They took all types of pictures. But are there any other kid activities this year? I'm assuming that that is not an option.
No, the teddy bear room is the one activity that we weren't able to do this year for many reasons. And so instead, we're still doing the downtown hunt for the elves. A lot of families do this. We normally have about 1,000 kids that participate, and that is a really good option for families. It's a scavenger hunt essentially, and so some of the stores have decided to put the elf in the window. Some have put them inside of their store. So depending on your comfort level and what you feel like doing with your family, you can just walk around the sidewalks and participate in that one, or you can go inside of stores if you feel comfortable to do that. But the whole concept is that you need to find 10 elves, and this year you need to find their names. So it might be, Buddy the elf is hiding in X, Y, and Z store, and you need to find out their names, and then you turn in your card once you found all the names that you need to at Iowa Book, and you get a prize. So that's a really good option for families. It's free. It takes, depending on how many you want to find, there's over 40. But if you just want to find the 10, it takes, a good amount of time, an hour or so. It's a really good activity for kids to do. And that's going on all month. So you can do that over the course of time.
Oh, that should be fun. Going
Yeah.
around and looking for the elves and finding the names this year. That should be fun.
Yes. Yeah. That's
So,
the big difference.
yeah, so you're talking, so businesses are a part of this downtown.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
the pandemic has really had presented some of our businesses with some challenges, but this is an opportunity for people to, navigate downtown, go into the businesses. But what are the businesses doing to keep people safe and distanced?
So last weekend was Small Business Saturday, and this weekend we have our downtown retail open house, which is traditionally one of the biggest weekends of the year for a lot of our retailers. And if you've ever been to the downtown retail or open house, it's typically, shoulder to shoulder, lots of people in every shop because, this is their open house day. But this year it's going to look a little different. We're still hosting it. It's just going to look different. So at every shop you go to that you're going to want to shop at, you'll see there's a sign on the outside that says what the capacity limits are. And each store, has set their own capacity limits depending on their square footage. So the capacity limit for a car looks a lot different than, the capacity limit for, Benno's. So they'll look a lot different there. But that's one way. Obviously, everyone's required to wear masks as you go shopping. There's a lot of, sanitation and, spacing that a lot of our shops have done. And then in addition to the in-person activities, a lot of the businesses now have either open online stores or they're participating in our online holiday market. And that's a one shopping website that you can buy gifts from all over downtown Iowa City shops. And then you don't even have to leave your house. So, depending on how you like to shop, if you want to do online shopping but want to shop local, you just go to downtown Iowa City Holiday Market and you can buy things from Revival, Akar, Catherine's, Velvet Coat, all of the different places downtown. So that's another option for customers and for the stores to keep, their staff and their customers safe. And, our retailers are doing a really great job with it.
Well, it's important for people to know to buy locally right now, especially during the
Yeah.
pandemic. And please come out and support our local
Yes.
businesses. And if you don't want to come out, you just mentioned they can go online and do some shopping there. Some people love that online shopping and delivery, right? And so
Yeah.
that,
Oh yeah. And we're doing free delivery through the end of the year. And we're doing it. So we're out there. Our staff is out driving around packages all over, and we've hit over 1,000 local deliveries. So we're trying to make it as easy on everyone as possible. If you live in Coralville, North Liberty, Tiffin, West Branch, Cedar Rapids, we'll deliver your packages. When you're shopping locally downtown Iowa City, and trying to make it so that it's almost more inconvenient for you to shop, from the big box retailers and places like that.
yes. Well, there's another part of the business that is happening for opportunity for people to buy, and that is the pop-up markets.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
so
So
tell us about the pop-up markets and yeah, inform us.
yeah. So the holiday pop-up market opened a couple weeks ago, and we do that in conjunction with Green State Credit Union. They help us put that market on, but it's right in Blackhawk Mini Park. And if people don't know where Blackhawk Mini Park is, it's right at the intersection on the pedestrian mall of Washington and Dubuque Street, and it's that area right next to Iowa Artisans Gallery, kind of an open space traditionally in the pedestrian mall. But right now we have our beautiful pop-up shops. There's 3 of them, and every week they change over to a different retailer or maker. And in those, this right now, I think this weekend we have the Black Liberation Spaces, we have the Knit Hole, and Ohm. So those 3 shops will be open this weekend. The hours are from 11 to 7. And then again, they're asking only one party because they're smaller. They're, just small pop-up shops. They're just asking one party for capacity at a time. But there's a lot of, great resources that we have doorbells. So if you're waiting outside, you can ring the doorbell. People tend to do their shopping a little bit quicker because they're smaller spaces. So they can, do their shopping a little bit quicker. Waiting outside, it's a beautiful area, so it's not that hard to wait outside if there is a lot of demand. But yeah, the holiday pop-up market will be going all the way through the end of the year, and we have different vendors coming in constantly. So I would recommend, if you're looking, for the schedule of who's coming up, to look at downtowniowacity.com, and we have the whole list of who to expect in the pop-up shops in this week and in the coming weeks.
The building is super cute. It's,
It is.
I love the wood look and the how it's just great. Is in a great space. As you mentioned, it's very open. So if you're outside waiting, you can certainly find other interests. The Artisan Gallery, their window display is off the chain. So there's always
Yeah.
something to do downtown Iowa City. Well, I want to know, is there anything else that you want to let us know before we end our time here today? I am so appreciative for you being a part.
For the most part, that's what's going on for the holidays, as far as like events and things. But I would really recommend people to check out, downtowniowacity.com for the whole list of things. Oh, I did forget the downtown gingerbread house competition. I don't think I mentioned that, but it was one of our most popular activities, and we have brought it back again this year. But it's an at-home experience, so you can purchase your downtown gingerbread house kit. We will deliver it to your house with all of our other deliveries, and then you build it at home and you submit your pictures to be entered into the competition. So that's a really fun family activity. I don't Me and my family and my toddler, we're doing it Wednesday night. We're going to put our gingerbread house together. The gingerbread is amazing. If you've never had Molly's gingerbread, I highly recommend it. It's really, really delicious. And, all the candy comes from Sweets and Treats, which they have a great variety there. So it's just another fun, activity, and you're supporting local. We'll make it really easy because we'll drop it right off to your house, and it's a really fun family activity. So that's another one I forgot to mention. Sorry about that.
Very nice.
But otherwise, I think, like our website's always a good reference of what's going on. Um, Free delivery through the month, our online shopping website, and just to, to remind people and thank them for really supporting our local businesses. Last weekend was Small Business Saturday, and it was incredibly great to just see so many people, following the rules, wearing their masks, visiting and shopping local. It was a really great weekend. So thank you to everyone that's, going and making those decisions.
All right. Well, thanks for all the work that you do because the businesses downtown really do rely on all of your efforts. And thanks to everybody out there that is supporting downtown businesses. Continue. And there's a lot of ways you can do it. You can do it in person, online, and even outside at the pop-up shops. So at the pop-up market, I should use the right terminology.
That's okay. They're interchangeable, right?
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being a part of today, and I hope you have an awesome and amazing rest of your day.
Thank you so much for having us.
That's our show for today. Do you have an idea for an upcoming episode of Community Connection? We want to hear from you. Visit icgov.org/communityconnection to fill out a topic request form. Topics should relate to the city services and programs or align with the city's strategic plan. We'll be back soon with another episode of Community Connection. Until then, mask up and stay safe. We are all in this together.